We're hearing from hospitals inside of Gaza that they're about to run out of fuel, as well as the medication needed to keep people alive. Richard and Susanna, we're broadcasting from Sderot this morning, as you say, very close to the Gaza border. This town has been evacuated, and if you look behind me, you can just see Gaza City there lit by the sun. And this morning we are hearing large numbers of explosions, seeing clouds of dust coming up from there still as the Israelis continue this onslaught on the Gaza Strip. Now, we're told that 600,000 people have moved from the north. They're down towards the south. That is putting huge pressure on the facilities in the south and on that crossing at Rafah, where the non-Palestinians, those people who hold joint citizenships, who might have a British or an American passport, have been told to head. And they are now being told that it is likely that that crossing will open potentially for a 5-hour period today to allow them to get out and to allow humanitarian aid to get in. The Egyptians, though, have been cautious of this. They said that the roads on the Gaza side are so damaged that they don't think the trucks can get through. I think everything is going to be done to make sure that happens. The pressure coming as much as anything from the Americans, with Antony Blinken, the US Secretary of State, the top diplomat, flying back into the country here today. He's been on a regional tour, talking to the Egyptians, talking to other Middle Eastern leaders, seeing what can be done to try and alleviate just a tiny bit of that pressure as we wait for this invasion to start. And we have been watching more reservists, more troops preparing themselves for that this morning here.
As the tanks wait, the world watches. Israel's defense forces massing at the border. A full-scale invasion of Gaza, they say, is imminent. Civilians were warned to evacuate to the south, but supplies there are scarce.
I've come to get water. We don't have any water. We've reached a disastrous situation, below zero.
But the US's top diplomat claims Egypt will now open the Rafah border, the only possible route to Gaza, to allow hundreds of tons of aid in and foreign nationals out. Antony Blinken says another priority is to ensure the conflict doesn't widen beyond Israel and Hamas into other regions.
No one should do anything that widens this conflict in any way or that furthers aggression against Israel from any other direction.
Close to the Gaza border is the ghost town of Sderot, where most have fled incoming rocket fire. But Liz and Mama Lena, originally from war-torn Donetsk in Ukraine, are staying put for now.
I'm living here 19 years, so for me it's normal. But now it's another situation. It's a war.
As is another Ukrainian Jewish family, with relatives living under fire in Russian-occupied Melitopol, all now living similar experiences, but thousands of miles apart.
We don't have a car. We don't. It's hard. So we are staying here the best we can do.
And are your family worried?
Everyone is.
Clive Hart's left his home in Sderot to keep family safe. They'd seen terrorists roaming the streets and followed advice to get out as rocket hits intensified. The North Londoner has served in the Israeli army and wants them to go into Gaza.
We're angry, but I'm talking about how do we make sure this does not happen again? And the only way that can be done is to take out Hamas totally and completely. As I say, that can't be done with rocket strikes, that can only be done with boots on the ground. Israel's
Prime Minister, who met with the families of those people taken hostage, has vowed to dismantle and demolish Hamas. Civilians in Gaza will inevitably continue to feel that force, which has already taken hospitals there to beyond breaking point. Richard Gaisford. Good morning, Britain, southern Israel.
Thanks, Richard. Desperate pictures coming out of that conflict.